Ciao Chris, buongiorno, hello, welcome to Venezia. Ciao a tutti e benvenuti a Venezia. Welcome. And so as you can see, and so my name is Igor. By now you can recognize my voice. Welcome back to all of you for the aficionados. Benvenuti a tutti gli amici che ormai è diventata una grande famiglia. Ben ritornati agli amici che si sono collegati adesso. Se siete nuovi, benvenuti nel canale di I Love You Venice. Ciao Bob, buongiorno, buonasera, buon pomeriggio. Ciao a tutti, ciao. Yeah, the entire thing is, yeah, look at here. They are just delivering a washing machine right there. Ciao Roy, buongiorno. Washing machine delivery, and that is the fun part of the day. Here we go, we are pretty much in the middle of the rush hours. Sì, siamo praticamente nell'ora di punta di Venezia. Adesso abbiamo anche il G20, quindi ci sono più restrizioni. It's 9 a.m. for you. Yeah, you're right. For you it's still buongiorno. You're right. Here is 6 p.m. and so we're something like 9 hours ahead of you, and we got in front of us an incredible day, and the view is just spectacular, and is hot and sticky. We had a big storm yesterday. Oh, you enjoy Verona. Grazie Roy, thank you. Really happy that you enjoy it. Let's have a look today how everything will be here in Venezia. The situation is completely different. We got quite a lot of people wander around. They block it off some of the canals close to the G20 that we got all the big chiefs that they are having big reunions here. Ciao Ricky! Ciao from LA! Ciao to all LA! And so, benvenuti a tutti. Cominciamo un po' con la nostra camminata e con la nostra visuale di Venezia. Let's definitely start to have a look at how Venice look like after the lockdown, if we are all back to normality. Ciao Nina, buongiorno, ciao, benvenuta. Sì, oggi cominciamo. Ciao Guido, ciao, buongiorno. Oggi cominciamo la nostra visita direttamente dall'inizio del Canal Grande e direttamente dal ponte di Calatrava. Yeah, we are definitely starting from the Calatravas Bridge, the same architect that he designed Valencia, but the same architect that he designed the new train station by the World Trade Center by New York, actually. And here we got even bicycle crossing that they are not allowed, or better, they are allowed to go from the Piazzale Roma directly to the train station, but that's about it. And you're not allowed, of course, to have vehicles, you're not allowed to have wheels except your trolleys, right, into Venezia. And then, of course, here we go, abbiamo la vista direttamente del Canal Grande, the majestic view of the Grand Canal at the real beginning. And of course, when they built it up, the Calatravas Bridge, we had a few problems actually, because the bridge started to push the entire embankment here and lifted up all the tiles right in that area. Sì, quando abbiamo costruito il ponte di Calatrava, inaugurato nel 2008, nel 2009, nel bel mezzo della notte, ovviamente c'è stato qualche problematica. Negli ultimi anni abbiamo anche il ponte che preme direttamente su questa zona qua, e negli ultimi anni ha tirato su tutte quanti i masegni, quindi le nostre lastricature di Venezia. Allora, cominciamo la nostra passeggiata per vedere quanta gente c'è. Yeah, we are going to start our walk today to see how many people are around. I say that this side is almost empty for a reason. I'm right in the sun. I'm pretty much melting down. The other side, we got the shade. You will see that there's going to be plenty of people. For those of you that are normally coming to Venice, that you never know if there's green or if we got gardens or anything similar. Here we go. This is one of the many gardens that we got in Venice, that we got the Papadopolis garden. I'm not going too far, that at least we keep the signal on. But the entire idea is that this area is just lovely. The only thing is that right in this area we would have had a monastery that has been totally destroyed. at that time. Sì, qua praticamente ai giardini Papadopoli all'inizio noi si aveva un monastero completamente distrutto nel periodo quando è arrivato Napoleone e quindi c'è praticamente rimasto poco niente. I show you what is left from the old monastery. Look, we got pretty much this section right here on the left hand side, but I show you a really interesting thing, interesting features. Yeah, of course, once that you're coming into Italy, we got a lot of little tiny chapels that they are dedicated to the Virgin Mary rather than Jesus, rather than Saint Francis, Saint Anthony, and so on. And it's definitely a way to say thanks to God or that specific saint that everything is working properly. Look at this column. Guardatevi questa colonna, questa è discretamente interessante perché quando avvenivano le esecuzioni in Piazza San Marco, prima di arrivare all'esecuzione capitale, cosa succedeva? Mettevano la persona direttamente sulla barca, la barca partiva da Piazza San Marco, piano piano si faceva tutto quanto il Canal Grande e ovviamente c'erano diversi tipi di punizioni fino ad arrivare qua dove la persona veniva attaccata a un cavallo e con una corda veniva trainata direttamente fino in Piazza San Marco. While we are looking at this column, the column is quite interesting because this one is related to the executions that they were taking place exactly in Piazza San Marco. And you have to know that when somebody was guilty, they would have judged him directly in the Doge's palace, put him into the prisons of the Doge's palace, but before that they would have started the executions, they would have put him into a boat in Piazza San Marco and they would have transferred him, he would have sailed all the way from Piazza San Marco to the train station. Along the way, let's say that we would have had different kind of punishment. Hot pinchers, they were cutting hands, putting a lovely necklace with the hands that they were hanging around, and since that he was bleeding a little bit too much, they were putting a little bit of fire into what was left actually, so in this way he wasn't bleeding too much. At that point, actually, when he was reaching this column, they would have attached him behind a horse, and the horse would have pulled him from here all the way down to Piazza San Marco. Walking from here to Piazza San Marco is quite a walk. And once that he would have reached Piazza San Marco, he would have been quite happy to be executed if he was still alive. And vi dico un'altra cosa. See, hello Julie, ciao Julie, that I got big reflections today that I don't see much. And you can see that the water is not super clean and crystal, mainly because yesterday night we had this big storm that it was going on. But it refreshed a lot and so it's definitely less humid than the days before. But anyway, I believe that we got something like 80-85 degrees easily. A few days ago actually we would have hit 100-110 degrees actually. Let me see. Great to see you all. Ciao Julie, ciao ciao. Let me just show you. Look inside of the boat that we got the dog that is barking. He's quite excited, super happy. But look, I'm going to show you one of the most classical view of Venice, the gondolas. Here we go. That they are slowly going. They are cute, they are beautiful. I mean, the dogs, but even the gondolas. And think about that, right in front of us a few months ago we saw stingrays exactly in front of the train station. Sì, qualche mese fa è successo, prima che si ricominciasse tutto quanto, siamo finiti a vedere le razze direttamente davanti alla stazione di Venezia. As you can see, the style is changing completely. It seems that we got a big gap. Super happy it doesn't need to use a barrel to swing. See, you're right. You are definitely right. But all the let's say, especially the dogs here in the island, they're always super happy and cheerful, and they are always looking forward to have a nice ride in the boats. And they are all sea dogs. Let me see. And so, Lysergic Funeral. Wow, what a name! You will be here in 3 weeks. And so, let me see. In 3 weeks, prepare, because it's going to be a kind of hot and sticky still. Let's say next week the situation is going to be a kind of bad, because let's say we're going to have big storms going on, but I believe that in 3 weeks it's going to be just fantastic. Mexico is still, I know that unfortunately you in Mexico, you are having still a few issues going on. I've got a bunch of Mexican friends that they live close by Cancun and those areas, that they told me that the situation is still pretty fragile. I hope that even for you, you're going to sort it out really soon. But definitely for those of you that will come here this year, you're going to have a big blast. I mean, we don't have many people, except a few areas actually, but other than that, actually all the streets, they're almost empty, and it's a pleasure to walk around and to enjoy the entire city. Ciao, Jack. Welcome. Yeah, we were definitely talking about the train station. Think about that, the entire train station, it's a kind of new, because it has been created by the Austrians in the 1800s. And so as you can see, if you look at the palace on the left hand side, it's totally different than the train station. By the way, it's not the original one dating back of the Austrian period, but this one is dating back around the 1920, 1930. Every time that you see something extremely ugly, it means that it has been built up by Benito Mussolini, the Italian lead dictator. And believe it or not, this one is the Church of Santa Maria di Nazareth, St. Mary's of Nazareth. For the Venetians, is the Church of the Friars barefoot, without shoes. And right there, where the tree is, there's a vineyard. They got a vineyard. And it's something like 2 or 3 years in a row that they are winning medals after medals, gold medals as the best wine of this region, of the Veneto region. So it means that they're doing great, and that is amazing. Think about it, that we got something like 3 hidden vineyards in the island, and that is marvelous. Sì, ovviamente per tutti gli amici italiani, ricordatevi che ogni volta che voi arrivate qua a Venezia, direttamente dalla stazione che è qua davanti a noi, costruita durante l'impero austro-ungarico e poi rifatta da Benito Mussolini, appena scendete là dove c'è l'albero, c'è il giardino mistico e là c'è una vigna. E quindi andare a fare un giretto a vedervi una delle 3 o 4 vigne nascoste è veramente qualcosa di incredibile. Ciao Beth Bianca, benvenuta, welcome, thank you for joining us. Yeah, look at the beauty that is right in front of us. But I show you another thing. As long that you're getting off from the train stations, this is pretty much the first church that you will be going to see. And this church actually, that ugly train station, brava Deborah. As I told you, when you see something ugly, it definitely means that it has been built up by Mussolini, as the bridge that is linking Venice to the mainland. But definitely, as long that you're coming out of the train station, this is pretty much the view that you will be getting. This one is Saint Simon. As you can see, it's pretty high. We got quite a lot of steps. That it makes the church way much higher than anything else around the island. What does it mean? We got a crypt. C'è una cripta sotto la chiesa di San Simeone. Quindi si può entrare, vi danno una candelina, costa un paio d'euro e vi potete fare una visita sicuramente esclusiva. Yeah guys, for those of you, let me see the chat. So Chris, I remember seeing this church. Deborah, just joining Berrettini in the Wimbledon finals. Yeah, that's right. That we got Berrettini that is playing. But let's say I clearly understand. I clearly know that as long that you are coming out, this is the first thing that you are going to see about Venice, and especially you got the green dome of the church. But definitely next time that you are coming this way, make sure that you are going to see the crypt, because a couple of euros they give you a little candle. You go pretty much underground. It's not like the catacombs down in Rome, but this area is going to be really lovely and fantastic, and so it really, in my opinion, it's really worth a little visit. Let me give you a full view of the area. Think about that this one is pretty much our second bridge, quindi il secondo ponte dopo il ponte di Calatrava lungo il Canale Grande. Adesso attraversiamo il ponte per andare a cominciare a prendere lista di Spagna, vedremo quanta gente c'è. Yeah, for all the international friends, the funny thing about Venice is that which is not that funny, unfortunately. On the last few years they even started to put it down, Burger King, McDonald's, but as you can see, you don't have the classical logo. You don't even recognize that this one is a Burger King, is in disguise or anything similar. The most amazing thing is that one is pretty much the dining room. As long as you step in, you got these incredible Venetian chandeliers that they will be hanging from the wall, and that is just spectacular. E voilà, siamo pronti per attraversare il nostro secondo ponte. Ne abbiamo circa 400 a Venezia, quindi ha voglia di far gamba. Yeah, we got something like 400 bridges all over the entire Venice island, actually, and so you are going to be extremely fit after your walks around Venice. So think about that. We are normally walking 10, 11 miles a day, really easy. Here we go. It's not sunset time yet, but already we got this view that is getting more and more and more and more interesting. Give me a second. See, Bob, well, let's put it in this way. It sounds like that it worth a trip to see Burger King, at least the first floor, that at least you can see the original ceiling, the original chandelier, all these things, and that one is worth a visit. It's like the McDonald's that is in Scotland, in Edinburgh, or a bunch of historical buildings down in France. Here we go. If you're going to hear the helicopters, that is quite normal. We got the G20 that is on, so we got extra security. Yeah, Burger King is not my favorite spots, of course. Here we're more like for cicchetti, appetite. That every time that you come to Venice, let me show you even the view from this side. The first thing that you should be doing is to go into the local bar, into the local let's say into the local bar, and you're going to taste the cicchetti, that they are like tapas bar, that you're going to have different kind of appetizers, that you might have toasted bread with salami or the Parma ham, or you might have the Nina, next time I show you how the double whopper is gonna look like. Think about that right now. If you go inside of McDonald's, they are giving you special menus. They call it the Italian treat or something like that. And so what is happening is that they are using local salami, like the speck, that is a kind of salami, a kind of smoked ham that is arriving from Trentino Alto Adige, so it means between the border between Italy and Austria. And then they put the Asiago cheese, which is a kind of a hard, really, and those that has been invented, developed in collaboration with Joe Bastianich, the same guy from New York and so on, and definitely work in collaboration with McDonald's. One important thing. No, I meant that there should be percussion. Ah, okay. You mean execution on the spot? They cut the hands or something like that. No, I know what you mean. I'm just joking, of course. But let's say I totally agree with you, and so they should not allow big cruise ship entering, as they should not allowed to open this kind of new things actually. Here we go, Bob. That's what I was talking about actually, that Joe Bastianic nowadays he would have been basically Croatian, Slovenian, but at that time they were still part of Italy. Every time that you are getting into Venice, remember to follow this sign, per San Marco to St. Mark's Square, and eventually you might, at the end of the road, after 3 or 4 hours of asking directions, because remember that the Italians, they are not good in directions, but we are really good in two things: memory and I forgot. The Italian jokes, sorry. But the entire idea is always hilarious in this area. But here we go. We're right slowly going into Lista di Spagna. That is pretty much the same idea as the Spanish Steps in... Dove siamo ora, Antoine? Allora, noi siamo dietro praticamente la stazione, vi faccio vedere. We are just behind the train station, or better on the side. The train station is exactly right there. We are in the district of Cannaregio. We're definitely in the district of Cannaregio. And slowly we're going to continue towards the Jewish district, Ponte delle Guglie. Ponte delle Guglie is going to be our next stop. So many more tourists than in the last few months. See, Deborah, you're right. Can I tell you something? I was happier with less people, even if it is against my business. Let's say the situation was different, of course. The only thing is just to give you an idea of who are we having right now, which kind of tourists. The majority of the people that we got around, they are Italians. Then we got a lot of Germans, Austrians, French, formal Eastern countries, area of ex-Yugoslavia, Croatia, Slovenia, Bulgaria, Hungary. A lot of Hungarians actually, especially last weekends. Quite a lot of people from the area of Budapest or Balaton Lake. But you're right, and so for those of you that were watching our live streams during winter time or a few months ago, there was only us around. You too, Deborah, in Brooklyn. Here we go. Here we go. This is something, I don't know if it is me or what, but I was really loving Venice without people. That was fantastic. Watching the canals full of fish, starfish and seahorses and stingrays. That was a beauty actually, and I really enjoyed that. I know that we need people to help the economy, but having the entire city for your own, that was something. The Huns are plotting something probably. Yeah, Attila is on the way. He already killed us once. He already destroyed everything once, and so Attila is still coming. But when he left this area, it seems that he hid along the Claudia Augusta's way a chariot made out of gold. Nobody found it yet after 1600 years approximately, and this is going to be interesting. We can still dig around. So let me see. Gemma, will they be showing football somewhere on Sunday? Great question. I don't have an answer at the moment, unfortunately, because at this real moment we got a few issues going on. With the final that we were playing a few days ago, we ended up having too many people in the square watching in the gigantic screen the football match. And the city hall, the mayor, and everybody was protesting because everybody went totally crazy, and so they wanted to avoid this kind of having too many people all together in one place. And so according with the news at this moment, but since that the Italians are changing mind every 2 seconds, maybe 1 second, this morning they were saying we don't put gigantic screens in the squares. We're going to stay home, or you are going to go into a bar to watch it, but that's it. But since that the Italians, they don't respect much, let's see how wild that we're going to be. And so that is going to be really interesting. For the idea that somebody was asking dove siamo, where are we right now? Adesso siamo davanti alla chiesa dove c'è il corpo di Santa Lucia, la chiesa di San Geremia. We're right in front of the church of San Jeremiah, and right inside of the church of San Jeremiah we got the relics of St. Lucy, that at the beginning of the 80s the entire body and the bones that has been stolen by the mafia family. Look at here, another thing, cistern right there. It will be really interesting, Jem. I'm really looking forward to see what is going to happen, actually. And I believe that we're going to see a lot of people. Think about that. In these squares, we've got something like all over Venice, 8,000 cisterns. They are not wells, actually, but they are definitely cisterns. Quindi sì, si parlava che ovviamente ci sono circa 8.000 cisterne sviluppate in tutta la zona di Venezia, ma era l'unico sistema per dare l'acqua potabile alla gente, quindi si raccoglieva la pioggia per poi piano piano dare l'acqua agli abitanti di Venezia. Yeah, you have to know that having so many cisterns spread out all over the entire islands of Venice, actually, it was the only way to give the water supply. And we were definitely collecting the water from the rain. All over the surrounding of these cisterns we would have had sand. The sand was filtering the water, and then at that point actually they were making the water potable, and so in this way we were going to be able to drink the entire water. Let me see. Up. Sì, effettivamente è una meraviglia rivedere i ristoranti finalmente aperti, è una meraviglia rivedere gente che cammina, passeggia e rivedere la città viva. Yeah, it's beautiful actually to see the entire island that is still alive, to see people again, and otherwise it was a bit too sad, the entire situation, and so now it seems that we are kind of back to normality. Yeah, later on when we talk about singing Santa Lucia, let's see if we're going to hit a gondola later on. See, you are right that I have to wait to the webcam of the Hotel Filosi. So later on I will try to do it, but definitely in a little second actually we're going to get right into the area of the Jewish district, and this one is one of the most important squares, areas that we got in Venice. Quindi tra un pochino noi andremo nella zona del vecchio ghetto di Venezia, uno dei più antichi del mondo e di tutta Europa. Yeah, the entire Jewish ghetto is one of the oldest Jewish ghetto that we got in the entire area of Europe, and not only actually, but let's say the oldest in Europe is Venice, and then we got Prague with Josefov. See, Julia, I'm wearing a green top. I'm waving right now. I should be 20 seconds behind. You should see me first in the webcam, then hear me. I'm right on the top of the bridge right now. Here we go. The big brother is watching me. George Orwell, he already knew that we would have ended up exactly like that. Yeah, but here we go. You can see me, Jem. Here we go. I'm waving right now. You are stalkers. one wife is enough, together with a son, a dog, and a turtle. I don't need anybody else anymore. Just joking, don't worry. You are more than welcome anytime that you are coming this way, actually. Much appreciated that at least we're going to be all having a laugh together. But you have to know that the entire area of the Jewish Quarter started in something like in the 1516, and at that time the Spanish Inquisition, they were pushing all the Jew out of Spain. Right after them we started to have Germans, French, Italians, and Mediterranean area. And since that Venice 500 years ago, it was really open-minded. They were welcoming everybody. Actually, we started to welcome all the Jews from all the different areas. Actually, we ended up having 5 synagogues with 5 different languages, with 5 different way of talking, with 5 different way of acting. And the word ghetto is not a bad meaning here, but we would say getto. Getto, gettare in Italian, it meant what? It was the foundry, exactly where we were melting the minerals. As the Germans, they were not able to say getto, they started to say ghetto, and we ended up with ghetto. I show you even this one. This one is not related to the Jewish Quarter, but this one, it was one of the pilings where they were putting the fish, and they were making the codfish, the stockfish, really nice and soft. Just to give you an idea where the Filou Hotel is exactly right here. That's from where you was watching me in the cameras. But the entire idea is, here we go. At this real moment, let me read the chat. Sembra un turista anch'io. Yeah, I look like a tourist. Yeah, pretty much with the hat and the backpack. I definitely believe that I look like a tourist. Better like this. One wife is enough, Guido. It's more than enough. I'm stuck with all of you, Chris. It's better with all of you rather than the family. Joking, Italian jokes. Sorry. Execution on the spot as long that I'm going home, but that's a different story. I believe that is going to be the last episode that I'm going to do after what I said. Well, it's okay, no problems. A couple of extra presents for Christmas, everybody will be happy. But by the way, starting from this point, we're slowly going inside of the ancient Jewish ghetto, actually. So think about that, we got 3 gates, and every day at sunset and sunrise, they would close all these gates. Starting from this point, we're going to have a kosher or kasher menus, and we got even signs in Hebrew, actually. The most amazing thing, if we're going to lose the signal, sorry, forgive me, but it will be just a few seconds. Let me hurry up. And starting from this point, the entire area is going to change completely. And this area is just fantastic. It's still real, it's still authentic, and is just superb. Something that is not related to the Jewish Quarter, and this one, it makes me laugh all the time. This big massive plate right here is basically saying, hey, Venetians, don't swear too much, don't say too many bad words, otherwise you're going to pay a fine. This means that the Venetians, actually, they were not that nice and they were swearing almost all the time, actually. And we had this warning, hey, behave, don't be too bad. And that was what going on in those days. The thing that slowly is starting to be upsetting, of course, the entire island of Venice is shrinking, and so it means that we're having less and less people, and so right now we're only 51,000, and that is a shame. But even the Jewish Quarter is getting really small, unfortunately. Here we go, that we got the kosher bakery. You need that in your house, Chris? I need this in my house. The entire collections of sweets, bread, and anything else. It's an addiction. And this is pretty much the only pastry that we got in town, the only, let's say, bakery, kosher bakery that is left, unfortunately. And look at here, as long as you're coming here, the palace that is right in front of us is one of the 5 synagogues. And the most amazing thing is that once that you're coming here, you don't realize, because it looked like a palace. So they converted the entire palace into a synagogue itself. Beside of the sign in Hebrew that is right over there, and a commemoration plate in Hebrew that is there, there's no sign that is telling us that this one is a synagogue. I'll show you another thing. If there is any Jewish friends that is connected with us, I show you this. Give me a second. Stumbling stones. So it means that every time that we're going to find informations about the Jewish family that was living here, that has been arrested and then deported into Auschwitz, they would have put it here, used to live, qui abitava, a Nina Foamelli, nata nel 1863, born in 1863, arrested on the 17th of August 1944, deported into Auschwitz and assassinated on the 7th of September 1944. That's what they have in Berlin. See, Nina, they got in Berlin, they got in Brussels, they got in Frankfurt, they got it all over Italy, but it's a big, massive European project, actually. Oh, see, Deborah, it might have happened that you saw Al Pacino or Jeremy Iron that they were making the movie here, or The Merchants of Venice. In a second, we're going to see exactly where they were making the movie, but even look at here. Normally, a Venetian palace, they do have 4, max 5 floors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 floors. So it means that they cut it out, the floors, they split it in 2 parts to try to fit more people inside. And that's exactly what happened. This is another synagogue, actually. And again, from the outside, you don't normally see that this one, it looked like a synagogue, except the sign in Hebrew that is right over there in the arch, and the commemoration plate. That is, I translate everything because we don't see much, but 1939, 1945, sorry, 200 Jews from the Jewish community of Venice, 8,000 Jews from Italy, 6 million of Jews from all over Europe, they ended up into concentration camps. I was actually a live theater production, not the film, but okay, Deborah, the live... Give me a sec, it was actually a live theater production. Are we talking about the one that has been done with Francesco D'Amosto, or the one that you played right into the Ghetto Vecchio, into the main square? Because I saw all of them basically. And that was something. It was something like 3 or 4 years ago, the last one that you exactly in the Campo, in the square. But we were talking about stumbling stones. Until Napoleon, the Jewish community was forced to leave and stay inside of this area. After Napoleon, they had the freedom to live wherever they wanted, actually. And you might see stumbling stones even outside. I watched a doc where they told about Ghetto Vecchio, and now its inhabitants managed to hide a synagogue inside of a tall building. Now I show you, Nina. Think about during the Second War, a lot of the Venetians, especially the partisans, they were hiding a Jewish family exactly like Anna Frank, if you want. And so the situation was totally different. And think about that. It's something that is really touching, but at least you know exactly what was happening in those days. But between 1939 and 1945, they were using the boats of the butchery, of the slaughterhouse actually, and they were collecting the Jewish family, and they would have took them right by the train station and transferred them by the truck number 18 truck number 18 of the train station, actually, that it would have been the main one, that they would have brought them from Venice directly to the mainland. And from that point, they would have decided which concentration camps that they would have ended up. Just to break down the entire idea. Look at this. Drying lines. Do you know which one is the most popular sports here in Venice? Socks fishing. Socks fishing. When it's a little bit too windy, the socks, they might fly away. They end up into the canal and you do socks fishing. Yeah, the thing is, we don't have dryers in our houses, mainly because we got really small apartments. If you want to try to fit everything in, normally we don't buy combos. We don't buy washing machines together with dryers because they don't wash good and they don't dry good. And so for us, we got still the idea that you hang everything out, that you're getting, who's Marco? We need to liberate. Oh, now I explain. Give me a second. And so basically the entire idea is that hanging everything out, the sun is killing all the bacteria and so on. Allora, about Marco Libero, you might have seen all these signs. And so it's a Venetian actually that has been arrested in Sudan for basically he didn't do nothing. Wrong moment, wrong spot, in the wrong directions. And at the moment it's something like 2 or 3 months that he was in a prison in a really bad condition. Oh, look at the dog. Look how cute that he's playing with the ball. He's having fun. Whoop. But definitely, he was almost going to die because the hygiene conditions, they were so bad. And the Italian government, UNESCO, and all these things, they started to come out and they tried to help him. Basically, we put him out of the jail into a better place, actually. And now they are trying to bring Marco back home from Sudan. But that's exactly what is happening at the moment with Marco that we need to liberate. Another thing, and so about your questions, how you can understand which one is a synagogue, which one is not a synagogue. Once that you are coming in this spot, actually, the most incredible way to understand which one is the synagogue, you need to look at the windows. Here we ended up having a compromise between the rabbi and the pope. The rabbi wanted to have 12 windows for the 12 tribes that created the religion. The pope wanted 0 windows. We ended up with 5. The 5 books of Moses. They were not 0, they were not 12, but 5. It was a great compromise. But I give you another idea. Now let me see. It was I will try to read in a second. Give me a second. That I need a little bit of shade, otherwise I don't see anything. Sorry. But today is really too bright. As you can see, let me go into the shade, otherwise you don't see anything. But here we go again, that you got 5 windows in a row, and this one it's another synagogue. Let me see the chat. Okay, the Campagna de Columbari from Ca' Foscari University. I don't remember who played Shylock. I remember that production. See, I think so, Deborah. That would have been it. But let's say this one, it would have been the working spot of Shylock. And think about that until not long ago, only the people from the Jewish quarter, they were allowed to have pawn shop. From a religious point of view, the Roman Catholic, they were not allowed to exchange goods against money, actually. And right here, actually, we would have had different kind of pawn shop that we would have had. Now I show you the Banco Rosso, the red bank, because in those days, actually, nobody was able to read, and rather than giving you a piece of paper with something written on it, you would have had a color. That's so matching colors, you would have known exactly where you drop everything. But let's say the working office for Shylock, it would have been exactly right here. Give me a second. It's really bright at the moment. Sorry if you don't see everything properly. I can feel the blessing chill from these trees. Lucky you, I don't feel it. It's really hot. Here we got the Banco Rosso, and of course we got the blankets totally seal off for the high tide actually. This is a pretty square, Bob. I definitely agree with you. Let me give you. The view is just fantastic. I really like it. And so at the moment it's still hot, but probably in half an hour or so there will be more kids playing around. And the most amazing thing during summertime is that you got the water, the fountain right. They fill the balloons actually, and they do the water balloons battle in the streets, splashing water, and that is so cool actually. Well, let's say this entire square is really pretty and is always really lively actually. Think about it, that this entire home palace is the old resting home for the elderly from the Jewish tradition. Look at the dog. The dog is having fun. Whoop. Oh, went back. Lost the ball. Let's say every little single family here we got dogs, and we are dogs addicted. We saw the other one that he was inside of the boat before. Allora, piano piano, the dog is having an amazing time. See, Gem, he's having his time, the time of the life. Grazie, Chris. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you to all of you for supporting the channel. So this way we can show you these incredible areas, live stream. You can understand exactly what is happening, how everything is going on at this time of our life. Actually, that we are pretty much back to normality, as you can tell. Especially this area is really beautiful, and so I definitely suggest that once that you are coming to Venice, if you are going to sleep and stay in Cannaregio district close by the Jewish quarter, this is going to be a great address, and this is going to be a great area because it's really laid back. If you don't sleep here, come here for sunset, drink or for an evening meal, because the entire embankment that we're going to see in the next few minutes is going to be totally full of lovely spots, lovely bar situated one after the other. Look, we're slowly leaving the Jewish district. So think about that. We got a ghetto nuovo, a new ghetto, a old ghetto, and thank you, Deborah, and a brand new ghetto. And so brand new, old and new on the other side actually. And of course slowly started to develop everything, but here we go. Look at here. We are slowly starting. Let me see. Datemi, sai dire, aspetta un attimo Roberto, a che punto è il restauro del magnifico museo ebraico? Mi piacerebbe saperlo, ma praticamente penso che siamo ancora in acqua alta, se non altissima. Non ho visto date per riaperture per il momento, quindi non ho la minima idea di quando riapriranno, ma non penso siano messi da aprire subito. Yeah, somebody was asking when they think to reopen the beautiful Jewish museum. Actually, unfortunately, they are still working hard. Part of the museum is still on the other side actually, and I don't see that they are going to open. Going to take a while, I believe, unfortunately. Anyway, better in this way, because once that everything is going to be back to normality, it's going to be even more beautiful and interesting than before actually. Allora, let me see. Nina, I lived in Cannaregio, close to Rialto, and found it very sleepy in the evening. It depends on the area, of course. But if you are, let's say, that is called Fondamenta degli Ormesini, that is right over there. Ciao Hooligan, grazie mille for supporting. Let's say this embankment is super busy from now that everybody is going to have the aperitif until late night, because everybody is coming this way for the evening meal. If you go one street down this way, that I will take you in a few minutes, you will see that it's really sleepy. It's just a matter of one street. But this street that we're at right now is not sleepy at all. And let's say this one is really nice. I normally like this place because it's called Al Timon, that you can normally get your drinks and you can have it directly in the boats. Here we go. The other boat is right here. And the best beef steaks of the entire island, they can be found right here in the restaurant Timon. You're not going to get a beef steak, but you're going to have a dinosaurs or something like that. But let's say this area, it's incredible for, let's say, the spritz, for the cicchetti, for the evening walk too, actually. But let's say it's something like 2 or 3 years that this one is started to become the most lively part of the island. Not even Campo Santa Margherita. Campo Santa Margherita is normally the university district, and so this one is definitely more lively, but only this alley. You will see that in a few minutes that we're going to cross this area is going to be completely different. Actually, it will be deserted, it will be nobody around. This is new. They opened up 1 week ago in Marcianino, and this is going to be a great spot to have a great drink. Okay, I was afraid I was the only one hopping on the roof there. No, don't worry. No, but let's say you got this one that is great, even that one. They are both new. You will be sitting out there, and the view will be just fantastic. Let me see. I love to see people enjoying. Oh, see, but let's say. Nina, if you're coming exactly in this alley, let's say that's exactly what you might looking for. And so people that are having fun, enjoying themselves. It was 2 nights ago that they were having live music, like live reggae music concert, and that was pretty cool actually. And let's say we're almost back to normality. But let's say if you are that kind of person that you wants to go out and by 9-10 o'clock you wants to go to bed because you walk the entire day, you just walk one alley down and you will be totally relaxed, and there will be nobody around and there will be nobody screaming and shouting. And so this area is really nice, and you can get everything. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Let me cross, and then it will be easier. It's still hot. But this one is the best time of the day. Let me see if I can show you a little bit of the sunset. So talking about this place, to use this area for the evening drink or the afternoon drink, that's pretty much how everything looked like. Sorry for the reflections, at least you can get a bit of the idea. By the way, bello a Paloma is beautiful, isn't it? By the way, this one is associations that is called Arzana, that is run by all the gondoliers actually, and that this one is the place where when they do historical movies, when they done Casanova with Heath Ledger, all the boats that they were using with the Casanova's movies, they were arriving directly from this association. But this area, as I told you, in my opinion, it's a must, and so especially in the last few such an opulent beauty. See, let's say this time of the our life, this time of the day is just perfect. Here we go. Let me see. There we go. This is the boat association, so you can see how beautiful everything is. Let me see if I can give you a better view. I don't know how much that you can see that the reflections is really strong. Sorry about that, but it's really. Is your body Said out working? Ah, Bob, my body Said at the moment is having a business meeting. Bob, the situation is interesting. Since that I was working, I sent Said where in Sant'Elena, and so pretty much at the end of Venice, where I live, because Said lives in Castello, and is meeting up with a lady that she is the director of Laguna nel bicchiere, the lagoon in the glass. Basically, it's associations that are taking care of the hidden gems of Venice, but they are taking care especially of hidden vineyards. And so we are asking the permit to go inside of some specific vineyards that are run by this association to go to taste wine. What my body is doing today. But he's already having a couple of glasses. I'll get my Chianti. Nina, I mean Chianti, Spritz, Aperol Spritz, Prosecco, soda, whatever you got is great. For me, a soda will be fantastic at the moment. What I'm pointing out right now is really interesting. Look, since ecological, low impact to the environment and all these things, what is this? Electric boats. And this one is the plug-in to recharge the electric boat. We do have one electric boat that is a test. Basically, they put it on the water at the beginning of this year. We see how everything is working, and we got even a hybrid water taxi. So a lot of tests that are going on at the moment. Actually, we don't know if they're going to work it out, but if they're working, that is going to be fantastic. But we must go in this direction because this is full of pollutions actually. So you don't have any filter, you don't have anything, and so all the gasoline is on that. That's the reason. Or anything similar. Ladies that are you are connected, prepare yourself because this is gonna be mind-blowing. Look at the I don't know how much that you can see. Grazie Cindy, salute, viva Nina. And so this one, it's an atelier, a tailor that is called Nicolao. Is one of the best ones that we got in town. Is doing everything totally handmade, and what is producing is all the costumes for the carnival parties and all the costumes for all the movie sets. From shoes, and this is wow. I mean, those shoes, they are normally called gondolier shoes, and the bottom is made out of bicycle tire. Why? More grip in the gondola, and this way they were not going to fall into the water. That's a lot of peacock's feather. It's not going to attract the wife anymore, I believe. or he went bald totally. I don't know. He got scared, lost all the feathers, and they created this one. Beautiful costume. A little bit more and beautiful. Shoes would look great. You see, Nina. And so let's full, and they are like sleepers if you want, and this and they are just fantastic. So if you are coming to Venice, pop in, because it's the one in charge normally to do the costumes for the volo del lancio. Sorry guys, let me move. It's not working, let me work. Normally in this area, questa zona qua non c'è nessun. Let's see. The major problem is that more and more people around the signals. The artisans, they were wearing definitely all the time special shoes that they were more that, so in this way in the tire, and that way they would have not got dirty in the mud. Now you can see all the pavement everywhere actually, but in the past area we would have had mud literally everywhere. So I do apologize, but the major problem here is that bitrate molto basso, ma di solito qua non c'è nessun problema, secondo me è perché c'è troppo. Fammi vedere. I believe that the situation should be better now with the connection that a little bit out. Marco, fammi sapere se il bitrate è meglio qua. Sembra ci sia meno problemi. Yeah, we should be having less problem here with the signal. As I told you, unfortunately, right now that everything is back to normality, we're definitely having more people that are using the signals and all these things. And so it might turn to be a problem sometimes. We do apologize about this. But right now, the entire idea is that we are, see, ora okay, great. So we should be back to normality. Think about that at this real moment we are back, we are basically where? We are in Campo de Mori, the square of the Moors. And in this area we would have had mainly the people from Morea, that region that is close by Greece going into Turkey. And look, we got a few bunch of interesting statues that are coming up right now. That we got Mr. Riob, that is exactly here. A few years ago he has been totally beheaded, unfortunately. And this guy, together with the two brothers, you can clearly tell that they are not Venetians because they're wearing turbans. As you can see, he's pretty scared. That is like going, Mamma mia, what's going on? But the entire idea is that the Virgin Mary turned them into stones because they were cheating the locals. They were merchants and they were not selling the right thing, the right quality. One day the Virgin Mary, she showed up right here and she turned them into stones. Interesting. So you've been with Sebastiano and now with me. Here we go. At least you can get a full idea. It's changing. Here we go. The other brother with the turban on. But this entire section, as I told you, think about that. Venice always being a multicultural city, and each district it would have been for a special nationality. Think about like New York at the real beginning. Actually, here we would have had a district where we would have had the let's say the Germans, where we would have had the Austrians, we would have had the Armenians, and we would have had special, let's say, kind of business. The locals, they were going to do business actually, and so the spot where the locals they were coming to buy stuff like silk. But you can see that even the style is definitely changing, that we got this kind of Turkish style pretty much everywhere, that we got pointy windows. But prepare yourself, because the view that we will be getting in the next few minutes, it will be again incredible, because we're going to see the church of Madonna dell'Orto, the church of St. Mary of the Vegetable Garden. So call it in this way because in the past they would have had a real vegetable garden on the back actually. This is the place where Tintoretto is buried, the genius of the 1500, that he created these amazing Last Suppers, that they were more like scenarios of theaters rather than religious paintings actually. But look, the previous road, it was so busy and so full of people that this entire area is so quiet, so laid back. And so in my opinion, this district is great because you got wide spaces and you can really please a lot of people. Look, let's have a look at our sunset, how it looked like. Think about that. This section right there, it would have been even the old French embassy. Grazie Paloma, grazie, thank you for supporting. But this entire spot is really mind-blowing. And once that you're coming this way, you see that nothing changed. Everything is still intact, like the floor. Think about that 700 years ago, we started to put all the volcanic stones and we replaced those stones made out of bricks basically. Have a look. The new sport that we got in the island, kayaks. But look at the, I don't know how bright that you see, is really, really, really bright at the moment. Let me see if I can adjust something. I'll slowly go down this way. But as I told you, you definitely need one street to go really, really quiet. I would like to show you another interesting spot. That is the Palazzo del Cammello, the Palazzo Mastelli. That Mastello in Italian means bucket, because they thought that these people that they were living here, they would have had buckets of money and they were extremely rich. But you can definitely see a camel exactly there, and it's telling us that the entire district, it would have been run and ruled by the Arab district. And the most amazing thing is the fountain that is exactly there. That is basically the only fountain in a facade of a building that it was water. It was a way to tell everybody that they were able to drink while that they were sailing. Since that they were arriving from the desert, they were not allowed to deny water to the public. But look, we're back to the old days. It means that there's me and two people ahead of me. So 3 people all together. And something interesting mixed up with legend. The palace that is right there with the 2 steeples on the top. And so we got different versions about the steeples. A lot of people, they're normally saying that they are what? Chimneys. Some they say that they are for the thunders. Some they are normally saying that is the residence of the captain of the Venetian Marine. recently that they done quite a lot of researches, they found out that those things, they are chimneys and they are not related to the power. But what is really popular when you're coming into Venice, they are all the altane. Alto, it means high. And so this one, it would have been the terrace where the ladies, they were coloring all the hairs, turning the hairs from any color into Venetian red. And so using special potions, special minerals and special spices actually. Sì, Paloma, Venezia è proprio bella, está muy hermosa. Yeah, let's say that right now the entire situation is just amazing. Let me turn around so you can get the full view. I don't know how bright it will be, let's have a look. But it's quiet, lovely, relaxing, great walk and great view. We got even the siren of the ambulance on the back. Anthony, i piani interiori si allagano? Diciamo di sì. Allora, praticamente se tu abiti qua sotto sicuramente hai acqua per 50 centimetri, un metro, dipende, però di solito possiamo avere dell'acqua sicuramente. Yeah, we got the lower floors, they are normally getting wet because in a year round we're getting something like 58 days of extremely high tide. So let's say that several days a year you might end up with a high tide. Sì, sicuramente negli ultimi anni che Venezia sta sprofondando piano piano e i ghiacciai si stanno sciogliendo, quindi c'è molta più acqua nei canali, andiamo ad avere molti più giorni di acque alte, diciamo che approssimativamente circa un 58 giorni di acque alte. Ora con il sistema del Mose vediamo se si riuscirà a salvare qualcosa, ma leggevo questa mattina che sembra che ci saranno sempre più acque alte da 80 centimetri sul livello del mare, quindi la situazione non penso sarà molto bella. Così tranquillo? Sì, qua adesso è molto molto tranquillo, qua è proprio bello. Yeah, let's say that this entire area is always so peaceful, but remember that you just need to go one canal, 2 canals down and you will be in the busy area. But in this embankment where we are right now, we got 2 hotels and we got a lot of Airbnb on these things, and so doesn't matter where you go, but this area I really like it, together with the Dorso Duro district and many others, of course. Normally, let's say that San Marco and Rialto are the busiest. Let me show you this. Let me try to go in the shade so you can get a good view. Look. We're pretty much standing right in front of the Venice Marina. This one is Murano, where they do glass blowing. And this one is San Michele, the cemetery of Venice. And this one is, of course, one of the largest boat parking lot that we got in town. Sì, è proprio bello, Guido, qua poi si sta bene, una piccola Svizzera italiana. Sì, magari siamo un po' meglio noi che facciamo un po' più di confusione. Se siamo svizzeri siamo troppo tranquilli, è meglio essere un po' più vivaci, con rispetto a tutti gli amici svizzeri. Però è proprio bello. Sì, questa parte è proprio bella, 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 bella. Concordo con tutti voi. Julie, you can't believe that you've never been to this area. Yeah, let's say, I mean, Venice, it looks small from the map, but at the end of the day, it's twice as big as Central Park, New York. But in my entire idea is that if you're, the question is normally how many days do you need to visit Venice? At least 1 week, because there's a lot of things to visit and see. And you're always missing something, actually. I got a friend of mine that he lives next door to my home, that during this year I already been here 7 or 8 times, and every time we're doing a different itinerary, a different walk, and let's say he's impressed because he said, look, I live 20 minutes out of here, and yeah, Julie, this way, because it really makes the difference. The thing is, you never get tired of this city. See, that one I agree. Even for me, actually, I bought a new 2 or 3 new books about Venice. Actually, I'm still discovering and finding new things. A friend told me one day was enough, and I fucked him on it. Well, let's say we are all different. I'm not saying anything, but we are definitely all different. But I got people that they has been here to Venice. They saw Piazza San Marco, they saw Rialto Bridge, and they said it's enough for me. Ciao, bye. On the last few years, what is happening, and that is true. As long as I meet up with the people. Actually, the only thing that they ask me is, I don't want to see people. Tag me whenever you want. I don't care. But just take me where there are no people. Absolutely, I would never get tired of Venice even after 100 times. See, ciao taxido, benvenuta, welcome, welcome. I definitely agree with you, but even look at this one. Look at this. The 2 kids, they are lifting up the boat, and they are going to bring the boat inside of the garage. This is cute. Look. Here we go. Now we should be able to turn everything, but at least we are going to be able to see every day's life in Venice. Here we go. They try to turn it around. Whoop. It's like parking the car in New York in those multi-floor parking. Here is exactly the same thing. Multi-floor parking lot for boats. There we go, going in, and that's it. But I give you this other idea, Bob, that you was asking me, where is your buddy Said? My buddy Said, he built it up, that boat, because before being, for those of you that they don't know me and Said, Said is my friend that is the gondolier. Before being a gondolier, he was a carpenter. He built it up, that specific boat. But this thing that we are seeing right now used to be a place where they were building up the gondolas. It was a squero. In Italian we say squero, but look, pomegranate, gardenias, Maine Coon cat that is having a rest. Right there, there are 2. There are 2 brothers that are normally having siestas. Let me see if I can get you. Look, Harry Potter has been here. He parked the broomstick right here, the Nimbus 2000 or anything similar. He's ready to do something, a spell. Let me see if I can show you the cat. Oh, he's right there. Hold on. Here we go. One is there, and the lazy one is right there. No, Said, can Said walk on water? No, that one was Jesus 2,000 years ago, and they ended up in a bad way. Said, he built it up, that boat. And so the boat used to be a carpenter, and he built it up, this specific boat. But here we go. Here we go. But Bob, let's say, if you are coming to this area, in my opinion, you can go to, you can come to live where I live, in Treviso. You will be 30 minutes out of Venice by train, and that is really convenient. The city is 1,000 years older than Venice, and so it means 2,600 years old. a city that it looked like a castle style, medieval style. Ricordo tutti i gatti sotto il ponte dell'Accademia, sì, bravissimo, che era strapieno. Adesso ce ne sono molto meno. And let's say with something like 300,000 euros, you can buy a house with 2 bedrooms or anything similar, actually. So that can work. I saw a great apartment, but that is really pricey, in the heart of Treviso, something like 180 square meters, massive. It is basically the penthouse. The building is dated back on the 1300, and they want 550,000 euros. But the apartment is unreal. It looked like a castle, and that is a great investment. C'erano un sacco di gatti una volta, ovviamente, ma praticamente servivano per prendere i topi, per sterminare la peste nera. Adesso praticamente abbiamo più cani che gatti. Yeah, in the past we would have had plenty of cats, that we were definitely using the cats to chase the rats, to defeat the disease of the Black Death, actually. Right now, the Venetians, they are more addicted to dogs rather than cats. Bob, later on I can send you the link of the apartment that he got to me, and so I send you via Facebook or anything similar. So just remind me, just text me a message in messengers or anything similar, and then I can give you the link of that apartment. That one is wow. It's really wow. It's mind-blowing, actually. But look at here. Ciao Renato, benvenuto. Siamo arrivati alla zona dell'abbazia. Cadavere Esquisse. Yeah, we got quite a lot of interesting exhibitions that are going on, especially right now with the Biennale. And I cannot go inside, otherwise everything is going to drop down. But look at here. Yeah, thank you. In this time in Venice, a 4-star hotel starts from 90 euros for a double room. See, Marco or Fabio who is writing, I don't know, but you are definitely right. Who is definitely... Roberto, scusa Igor, visto che mancano un paio di settimane, pensate di organizzare una passeggiata sul ponte di barche per il Redentore? Sì, potrebbe essere un'idea effettivamente, che si potrebbe andare a fare un giretto sul ponte del Redentore, quindi si potrebbe fare anche quello. Effettivamente il Redentore è il 17 di luglio e si potrebbe organizzare una passeggiata di là. Yeah, we are definitely talking about we are talking about the Feast of the Redeemer that is going to take place on the 17th of July, and somebody was asking if we're going to do a walk to cross the temporary bridge that is going to go from Dorso Duro to Giudecca. That is going to be a great idea, and that is going to be a fantastic walk, actually going for the pilgrimage to the Redentore, to the Church of the Redeemer. But even this, look, la chiesa della Misericordia, e qua praticamente era dove la Reyer, la squadra di basket veneziana, si allenava al primo piano qua sopra. Yeah, you have to know that this one is the Church of the Misery, and this was the gym. On the first floor we would have had the basketball team that they used to train. Oh, let's have a look at this one. This canal for us is like the highway, is like the main street that is linking, let's say, the Grand Canal to the airport is the highway. But walking that bridge was like I was drunk, quite fun. Yeah, sorry, my fault. I don't feel the leg and the hand anymore. After a while the gimbal is starting to be a kind of heavy, and you slowly don't feel the fingers. Yeah, it's something like 1 hour and a half, and I know that I can go 1 hour and 45 minutes after that. I got cramps or problems. Yeah, I would love to see the fireworks, but that is complicated actually to see the fireworks. You need, especially with the camera of the phone, we already saw that it's not working that incredibly well. Ah, okay. Okay, I misunderstood, Bob. Now I got you. But after a couple of drinks, everything looked like the same. That's the thing. That after 400 bridges and a million of drinks and 3 millions of spritz or anything similar, that it might be a mission impossible number 2,000,007 actually, and that is always fun and interesting. Here we go. We're slowly going to see one of the oldest bridges that we got on town, and this is gonna be quite interesting. Why? Because this one is the bridge without railings, and the majority of the bridges at the real beginning, they were all without railings and protections. Here we go. Look how pretty this one is. Think about that we would have had bridges that they were private and some that they were public. Some private bridges you need to pay the ticket to cross it. It was on you to restore everything. But this one is so cool. After that they built it up, the Moses project, you have to know that the stream, the current of especially this canal, it changed completely. It's 2 times faster than before, which is not a good thing. It means that we're definitely getting more erosion against the walls. And that's the reason why that on the last few years we don't put the plaster all the way down. So in this way the plaster is not absorbing the humidity and then it's not exploding. But some of you was asking if this street is going to get flooded or so. Yeah, absolutely right. Let's say that this entire street is going to be unfortunately completely flooded, and that is going to be a kind of you need rubber boots, Wellingtons to go across. Adesso piano piano ritorniamo. Guardate che si riesce a vedere la corrente. Adesso piano piano ci ridirigiamo verso il canale grande, così abbiamo una vista del canale grande. Now, does it smell now? No, Nina is smelling. You smell seaweed, salt, well, I say ocean, but we don't have funny smells around actually. It smells normal. Any kind of seaside resort area. But it doesn't smell swamp as it can be for, let's say, Mississippi or Alabama or those areas. So there's literally no smell. Smell free. Now I got the smell of a lady, but that's it. The perfume, Chanel number 5. But rather than that, nothing. No. Now it's starting to smell spaghetti with clams because I'm next door to the restaurant. But really, smell free totally. And it's already several years that after that we refix all the sewage system, that we are not having big massive problems with smells. Stop smelling the ladies. Igor Passino, yeah, well, I wish, why not? Place is on his way to get retired, I believe, at this point. He should be in the 80s at this moment, and so he needs somebody that is going to cover him. But look at this one. Look at this. Let me back up a second. but this little Think Palace is just incredible. We're getting the golden hours, and it's just spectacular. We're back in Strada Nuova, the new road, so definitely down on the right hand side we go back to the train station. On the left hand side we got Ponte di Rialto and so on. Right now we're going to try to get into a specific viewpoint, and let's have a look how everything is going to look like. This one is one of my favorite viewpoints in town. Whoop. Yeah, the view that is coming, sorry, but it's too bright. In few seconds, let me see. Trying to balance the light, no, it's still strong. We're going to have an incredible palace that has been built by Prada. The day of the inauguration, the bridge that it was going from the water taxi into the entrance fell off. All the VIPs ended up in the water. Here we go. That is coming out right now. 26 millions of euros. That's how far that you can go with your money here. Bob, that you was thinking to move here, 26 millions of euros, that's what you can buy. Yeah, probably, from my point of view, is a bit out of the budget. I don't know your pockets, but definitely it's a kind of expensive. A few years ago, we would have had even Mr. Johnny Depp, that he owned these two palaces. After that, he got divorced, he gave up. But look at here. Look at the view that we're having right now. We got this amazing. Bob, you're happy to take the train. I'm pretty happy to walk down to Venice rather than 26 million. Yeah, to sell the Ferrari park, isn't it, Nina? When I win the lottery, I'm definitely moving to Venice. See, Julie, but buy a first or a second floor apartment, otherwise you will be spending too much time to dump the lower level, actually, from the high tide. See, think about Roy. Johnny Depp actually was making the tourist right here. 007 Casino Royale, he was gambling inside of the casino. Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie, they were getting off right there. That we got the Museo di Storia Naturale, and he was getting there to get the incredible ballroom. We would have had Daniel Craig, that he was sailing with the yacht exactly here, right in this part that before we were mentioning the Merchants of Venice. We were having Al Pacino. Sì, sì, sono io, ho la maglietta verde e lo zaino rosso, sono io, sì. Ormai mi avete riconosciuto dappertutto, sono io. Tanto è facile vedermi. Right here we would have had exactly Al Pacino and Jeremy Irons that they were filming The Merchants of Venice. Johnny Depp, he was jumping from the window right there. He pushed the policeman into the water. Right in that arch we would have had Julia Roberts and Woody Allen in the movie Everybody Say I Love You, and Forza Azzurri, sì, Domenica. And right over there we got the Ponte di Rialto. But guys, this has been fun to show you how Venice look like during this time of the year. As you realize, everything is slowly going back to the normal life, actually. Is it true that people of Venice doesn't like the tourists? See, we don't like the tourists because there are too many mistakes. Actually, they put the airport where the port is, and they place too many things into totally wrong spots. That's the reason why that we don't like it. But we are not talking about the plot, we're talking about the locations that they were using, that they were not real. That's it. Guys, it has been fun to take you around Venice. I hope that you enjoy our day, that at least you saw probably something new, or you rewatch how the evolution is. Stay tuned. I hope to see you again here, and I hope you to take you into new parts of the islands of Italy. Grazie mille, and stay tuned that we're working in new ideas, in new programs, in new ways. Grazie, grazie, grazie e alla prossima. Buona serata a tutti o buongiorno, alla prossima. Grazie mille, ciao ciao.